Right. I'll take some tea.
How did they not even mention Yi?
Yee.
Holy mother of... Yi has his own video game.
Yee brought me here.
Where's my fucking Yi part?
Obligatory Yi comment.
Okay. It has come to our attention that there is a meme that originates from the cartoon in this Dinosaurs game we reviewed a few months back. The meme in question comes from a video in which someone re-edited a scene so that Peak is singing along with one of the songs from the cartoon until he is interrupted by Oro saying Yee.
Yi. Now this video has spawned countless reworkings and remixes, including the obligatory Let It Yee, obviously, some of which have gotten a crazy amount of views. Understandably, some of you wondered why we never addressed it in our Dinosaurs review. Well, honestly, we had no idea. The clip actually comes from the Italian version, which, neither of us watched, being not Italian or speaking Italian. Hell, it wasn't until after our Dinosaurs review went up that we even found out about the meme. YouTube's a really big place, you know?
But yes, we are now aware of Yi, and our Dinosaurs review is our most viewed video thanks to its inadvertent connection to the meme. So we're left feeling oddly grateful to this awful game. You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's give Phoenix Games another chance.
Mighty Mulan. Mighty Mulan is another wonderful product from Europe's only super budget publisher, and much like Dinosaurs before, it can only really be described as a game with some seriously big inverted commas. When you get right down to it, it's just a budget cartoon on a game disc with some minigames thrown on there for good measure. This one, being on the PS2 and from the futuristic space-time of 2004, has a few more minigames than Dinosaurs, but they're all kind of the same thing. They're functional? I guess? But seriously, who gives a shit about those? What about the cartoon?
Well, it's based on the Chinese folk tale of Mulan, and although the specifics change in its various retellings, the general gist of the tale is, girl takes her father's place when he's called up to fight in the army and so has to pretend to be a guy. You're presumably familiar with the Disney film, which is probably the most famous version of it in the West. It's also very likely that's why the Mulan on the cover of this looks more like Disney's Mulan than the actual Mulan in the cartoon. Stay classy, Phoenix Games.
Okay, enough stalling. Let's get down to business and review Mulan.
This is the legend of Mulan, a courageous daughter of a worthy Chinese warrior.
Our tale begins with a narrator who, thank Christ, isn't a bird this time, informing us of the local belief in the great dragon who lives in the mountains and controls the water supply. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll tell us why we needed to know that when it becomes somehow relevant. But anyway, we get our first look at our title character and, well, honestly, I'm kinda shocked. The animation in this is adequate. I mean, we're not talking Don Bluth here or anything, but it's a damn sight better than this.
So Mulan is out picking mushrooms when she is suddenly molested by a panda, and we learn that Mulan's voice actress really does not give a shit. Like, at any point, ever, about anything.
Oh, Panda, you spilled all the mushrooms, you clumsy fool.
So her and the panda, who is rather unimaginatively called Panda, fuck around for a while until Mulan decides to read out a story about where pandas come from. Yes, Mulan is officially giving this bear the talk. If you're interested, the story is about how there were white bears and black bears who were only around during the day and night respectively. They never saw each other until one black bear stayed out until morning and met a white bear. Then sex happened, which made a panda. That's probably how that works.
Panda doesn't actually seem to care and wanders off, leaving Mulan to ponder at the pointlessness of reading to an animal who can't understand you. She then proceeds to gaze into the lake until she sees a reflection of her future self in an armor.
Panda, it's me in an armor. Come quickly, look. I resemble a grown-up warrior. Panda, look, I saw it, I really did. I had a real armor on and a helmet on my head.
Yeah, because that's how people speak. Yep, Mulan, finished with her panda sexual education for the day, then rushes home where she tells her dad what she saw. He is less than impressed.
And I saw my reflection wearing an armor, like a real and dangerous warrior.
Are you sure? And were your eyes open when you saw that?
Still, the next day when they're at an archery competition, Mulan's father decides to humour and okay. Seriously, we've let this slide up until now, but the way some of these characters are drawn is really, makes me think of those World War II Warner Brothers shorts. You know, the really racist propaganda ones. Just gonna assume it's more incompetence than malice on the animator's parts, but Jesus!
At this point, we find out that Mulan is basically the worst at everything and fails catastrophically to fire an arrow. This amuses Quagmire and friends over here. But don't you fear, Mulan is the protagonist! Even if she fucks up, she still wins the prize because she wanted it more or some fucking bullshit. Can't imagine the other competitors will be particularly pleased about that.
And the prize goes to Mulan for being awful, but wanting to hit the target really, really badly.
You fucking what?
Once they return home, a rider with a curiously out-of-place accent comes looking for Mulan's dad.
General Hua, I must speak with you. I have an important message from the Emperor.
Turns out there were rebels in the south who are angry because of the drought. There's a drought, by the way. This lake completely run dry.
Although it has to be said that Mulan and her father's reaction to this news is, well, it's goddamn beautiful.
They want to kill our great Emperor because they blame him for the great drought that has swept our country.
It would seem the dragon mentioned earlier is not only completely real, but has stopped melting the snow up in the mountains, causing the drought and throwing the south of China into chaos as rebels, angry at the drought, run amok, led by the evil... Bad Li? It's a good name. Not sure why he's green, though.
With the country in peril, the Emperor sent for Mulan's father's help, forgetting that the dude is, by now, old as all hell and can barely wield a sword. Mulan offers to try, showing the same marvellous aptitude she has for archery, and Jesus, she nearly fucking decapitated him. This girl really should not be allowed near weapons. Why do people keep giving her weapons?
Woo! I made it! I'll become a dragon warrior!
Despite his near dismemberment, her father begins training her so that she can take his place. Although since the Emperor specifically asked for Mulan's dad, I'm not entirely certain who they think they're going to fool. Just enjoy a training montage.
You're gonna eat lightning, and you're gonna crap thunder!
Eagle! So, with Mulan all grown up and ready to join the army, we skip ahead 12 years to a point where the rebels, nice logo by the way, are winning and Mulan, now disguised as a man, has become a general. Although between the time it took for her to grow up and the 12 years in the army, that does imply that there's been a brutal drought for, what, at least 15 years? And in that entire time, nothing of importance happened. I mean, I'm not complaining that there isn't more cartoon, it's just a little weird, I guess.
Soldiers! Don't lay down your arms. Try to be alert.
Okay, seriously, I can buy that a woman can disguise herself as a man, that's fine, but I find it pretty hard to believe that they could get to the rank of general, undiscovered, sounding like an 8-year-old girl. But then again, I guess the Imperial Army at this point seems to just consist of Mulan and these two chuckle fucks, so I guess they aren't that picky anymore.
That's really funny.
Also, for all their complaining of a drought, there is an awful lot of clean running water in this cartoon. Just saying.
So the three amigos are attacked by the rebels and Mulan's companions take an arrow to the knee. Mulan gets captured and somehow they seem to know that she's a she, not a he.
I want her alive! Don't let her get away!
How did they see through that amazing disguise? So the entire plot point about Mulan dressing up as a man is raised and dropped in a grand total of about 3 minutes.
That is an almost impressive lack of shits to give about your source material. We also feel the need to point out that the rebels seem to have been recruiting from Middle-earth, since rebel now apparently means orc. So the now captured Mulan is taken to a quarry/prison. It's presumably safe to say that Mulan's companions from earlier were killed. Can't say I'll miss them.
How do you like that collar of bravery you're wearing round your neck?
I'm sorry, what?
How do you like that collar of bravery?
How do you like the colour of gravy?
How do you like that collar of bravery?
How do you like that collar of bravery?
How do you like that collar of bravery?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what you're saying.
Mulan, being the heroic type, sticks up for an old man being whipped, and we get another wonderful example of this cartoon just having no comprehension of basic human speech.
You filthy animal! Let the old man be!
What? Did some of you sleazy worms speak?
This little worm will skin you and you'll end up eating dust and stone.
Oh, Quagmire and Co. are orcs now. Good. That night, Mulan's dad appears to her in a ghostly form. Just don't ask any questions, it's easier.
He instructs her to go to the Dagobah sister, the biggest tree in China, which should lead her to the Great Dragon so she can hopefully get him to melt the snow and end the drought. It turns out the medallion she's wearing, just trust us she's wearing a medallion, is the magic symbol of her family and can only be used 5 times. What it does or why is left up for us to wonder. Is that 5 times per family member, or is that 5 times in general? Just feels like you should probably establish stuff like this.
Can we wish for more wishes? Although he wasn't particularly helpful, her dad does materialise some ghost tea for her before awkwardly touching her and then disappearing.
Right. I'll take some tea.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
Bolstered by her father's words and beverages, Mulan uses the medallion, which creates pigeons, to steal the key to open Mulan's cell and shit in the eyes of any orcs who get in their way. Oh, so it's a whatever we need to advance the plot kind of magic item. Cool. Free from her cell, Mulan sneaks away and then, using the medallion, creates a horse which she spawns about 15 feet in the air, because Mulan is a dick to horses, and escapes.
Using her magic horse, which has completely different markings from the previous scene but shut up its magic, she finds the biggest tree in China.
Ah, the biggest tree in China.
No. That's a bird. Oh, there it is.
She climbs the mountain to get to the tree and is accosted by a monkey who leads them to both fall down a huge magic tree hole. Jesus, that's fucking horrifying! Saving that for the thumbnail.
At the bottom of the huge magic tree hole, they find a lake of lava and are attacked by fire elementals. They escape to a nearby room that begins to fill up with water. Mulan realises that all this must be based around the elements of earth, fire, water and air. So the rising water should lead them to the air.
Is it even worth mentioning that the ancient Chinese elements were wood, earth, fire, metal and water? Yeah? No? Fuck it. Mulan uses the medallion again, which creates a fish that shows her and the monkey the way out, leading them under a frozen pond in the mountains, because magic, I guess. Mulan builds herself a fire and uses it to defrost the monkey.
Yes, I was right all along. Air is indeed the fourth of all the elements.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
This is the fourth time we are using magic.
Out of nowhere, she decides to use the medallion again to summon a giant crane to carry them, but the bird declines because it wouldn't be able to carry both Mulan and the monkey. Why are we now stuck with this monkey? We never asked for this.
Thank you, Crane. I understand you can't take us both. I guess that magic has got its rules.
Okay, 1, every other time the medallion has been used, it created an animal that was exactly what Mulan needed at the time, so why didn't it make an animal that could carry them both? And 2, just leave the fucking monkey! Who cares? You've known it for literally 5 minutes. Fuck him!
Fuck that monkey!
However, all is not lost as Mulan MacGyvers together a hang glider, but after being attacked by bats, she immediately crashes, right in front of some rebel orcs who were presumably on the hunt for more Daka. Whether the bats were working on their own or in collusion with the rebels is a mystery for the ages.
Mulan promptly beats the crap out of the rebels, but you've probably noticed by now how badly the audio is out of sync. You see, scenes like this go from confusing to utterly incomprehensible because of this.
So, who's first?
Anyway, rebels vanquished, Mulan stumbles into the home of the Great Dragon and... oh, there he is. Seriously, there's no reveal, it's just, oh, here's the dragon's house, here's the dragon, fuck you! The dragon falls back to sleep just in time for the rebel general Bad Lee to show up. I don't even think we can begin to adequately describe this epic final confrontation.
All we can really do is show you.
You could hear that rubbish only from your father, that miserable worm. That was his duty, to crawl, that imperial maggot.
I, Mulan, daughter of my father the great warrior, shall gladly turn into a worm if you ever win this war.
Ha 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 ha! You are the same blood, it's plain to see. He could also wear a skirt.
Blood is not male or female. It is only red.
I'll tell your father how you died.
You'll have to kill me first, scum. Take that!
I will also tell him you were begging for mercy.
During this climactic battle, Mulan loses her sword, so the monkey finally starts pulling his weight and finds Mulan's medallion. Yeah, she lost the thing in the fight after the hang glider crash, although good luck noticing that the first time round. So the monkey uses the medallion to create an enormous cock. So it can crow and wake up the dragon.
Oh.
But how can the monkey do that? I thought the medallion was a special thing to Mulan's family. Like, can it be used by anyone? Is the monkey related to Mulan? Does this count as its 5th use, so it's now powerless, or is this the monkey's first use?
You see, we weren't being pedantic earlier because you refused to lay down any ground rules. This means that Mulan's dad could actually be a monkey's uncle. Anyway, the enormous cock wakes up the dragon, who flames the ever-loving shit out of the rebels, whilst Mulan goes all Roadhouse on Bad Lee. Mulan then mounts up and gets the hell out of there as an avalanche caused by plot convenience swallows Bad Lee and the rebels. With the bad guys buried under snow, we're shown a slideshow whilst the narrator explains how the dragon has gone back to melting the snow and thus bringing an end to the drought, although why he stopped in the first place is a question we'll never get an answer to. The story ends with Mulan, now returned home, looking into the lake again and not seeing herself in the armour she's wearing but in female clothing before we're unceremoniously thrown back to the menu screen. So, how does Mighty Mulan compare to dinosaurs? Well, it's better, I guess. Despite the horrible voice acting and the absolutely fucking terrible audio all round, the animation is really vastly superior. It's actually pretty hard to find out who animated it, especially since the DVD versions are all released by so many different companies. Yeah, for some reason this is multiple DVD releases as well, just in case, you know, you wanted that. Some people think it's animated by Dingo Pictures, the German company behind Dinosaurs and many other Phoenix Games cartoons, but since it's not listed on their website and their work has, shall we say, a signature aesthetic, I think it's safe to say it's not them. But yeah, Mighty Mulan's story might not have a huge amount to do with the source material, the dialogue might be awful and poorly acted, and out of sync, but when you put it next to the worst thing ever, it doesn't look quite so bad. I guess the real conclusion to be drawn from this is that since we've now bought 2 of these things by choice, we probably shouldn't be allowed financial independence. Remember when we used to play video games? Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, then chuck us a like, or maybe you could check out links to other videos that we've got. They probably put them down there, the links, or maybe they'll be like at the top. I don't know. I don't know where they'll be because honestly, it hasn't been edited yet, and I'm just talking to a microphone. Thanks again.
One day he wound up in a hospital bed, full of drugs with a drip in his head.
Yes, you're right, he found your ugly symbol. And now he goes to Monkey Grave.